Hey everybody, welcome welcome back to my channel. My name is Leah Catherine, this is Leah Sees Movies, and we are back with the next episode of Castlevania Nocturne. Last episode was a big one. Annette killed, oh gosh, one time I want to get this right. Voltaire. The Volturi. Voltaire? Gladius. Annette killed the vampire that enslaved her and killed her mother. That's really the important part. We had a really beautiful moment of victory, and I'm using the word beautiful because it was not just about the emotional catharsis, it was also a very nice like sunrise and dandelions and rivers, and it was just a really nice moment in a show that has been fairly dedicated to terrifying character design. We found out that the abbot is Maria's father. I say found out, I think we all figured that one out, but it was revealed to Maria mostly. I think we, the audience, got it, but Maria, it was a very big shock. And then the real big shock for the audience was Juste Belmont, Richter's grandfather, who was alive, well, slaying vampires, and apparently did not want to have a relationship with his grandson until he was forced to run into him. So now I guess this episode is going to be like finding out a lot about the Belmonts. I think Richter has a very limited kind of knowledge of his family history. Besides, we're Belmonts, we fight monsters, we fight vampires. So I think Juste is going to be like our footholds back into kind of the Belmont history we're more familiar with, as well as finding out like what is going on more personally. Like, why was he not kind of in communication with his daughter? Why wasn't he the one that she wanted to send her son off to when she was in danger? I don't know if we're gonna get all of that this episode, but I mean, this go round, the characters of Castlevania seem to be a lot more open to, you know, deep emotional conversations and being honest about their truths. So maybe we will, I'm not sure. And then we're gonna get more of our bad guy vamps. We're gonna get more Olrox, more Drolta, and potentially some daywalking Erzsébet Bathory. I'm still very confused about all of the Egyptian goddess focus. I'm not really sure where that's going, and I don't like not being sure, but it seems to mean something, and there's definitely a lot of focus on being a lioness. The fact that Sekhmet would be the daughter of Ra, the sun god, again kind of brings this daywalking aspect into it. Or it could go the other way around. They're like, it just turns into like an Avatar thing with General what's-his-face, where he's just like, I'm gonna kill the moon. Like, maybe they're going in that direction. Like, if we can kill the Egyptian god manifestation of the sun, maybe we can just get rid of the sun altogether. Maybe that's the direction we're going. And in terms of like crazy escalations of plans, I don't think that's any crazier than like, oh, Trevor is gonna fight death. So it seems like a bit much for season 1 though. So if that is where we're going, that's probably not gonna happen for quite a little bit of time. But I would like to get some more confirmation of where we're going, because for now, it's real loosey-goosey on the villain plan front. So I'm going to stop talking. Let's get started. Jesus. All right, let's maybe drop that volume a little bit. Ooh, hairstyle change. Okay, maybe we'll be getting some answers to my son questions earlier than I expected. A glowing chariot. Okay, we are coming out swinging on the mythological front, because I'm pretty sure in both Egyptian and Greek mythology, it's kind of the sun is pulled by a chariot. Also, again, just killing the character design. Oh my god.
Soon we will force our father, Amun-Ra, the sun, down on his knees to tread in the mud for mercy.
Oh my god! Did I just nail it?
Cut off his head and suck out his brains and spit them into the dust.
I nailed it. Like, she gonna kill the moonfish, but the vice versa. The sunfish. It's interesting that she's speaking as though she is Sekhmet and not someone who drank Sekhmet. One could say the night will be long and full of terrors. Or the night is dark and full of terrors. Did I totally get that wrong? How embarrassing. In my defense, it's been a few years since Prime Game of Thrones, so I'm allowed a misquote every once in a while. Oh.
Daughter of a revolutionary deputy.
Hopefully it'll be quick because she's hungry. I don't think it's ever going to be quick with her. But one could hope.
Exquisite.
She's ginormous.
So bored of empty terror. This is much, much sweeter.
This is not empty terror?
Here.
Oh. Okay. Is it bad if I say this is like the best case scenario? She just drinks you dry and ends it there? Because I don't want to linger with Elizabeth Bathory, personally.
Hold on. I need some fucking answers, Grandad.
Please call me anything but Grandad.
He said I'm too young and hot for that.
I've been here all the time since you came to France, keeping an eye on you.
Tara knew.
She agreed not to tell you.
Why not?
I've been giving her money.
I have like a lace front dress. Me and him could match.
You didn't want me to know I had an actual fucking grandfather living a few miles away.
No, I didn't. You might expect things from me.
They're like, we heard you wanted that real negative energy from the first series. He's back.
And she was the heir to the Belmont mission, and there were vampires there she had to fight. Like all rocks.
Something happened budgetarily, because this whole conversation has looked a little, Like, I'm assuming there's like a really crazy fight that's about to happen, because that felt a wee bit cheap.
You're a Belmont. And you're not supposed to kill vampires for money.
I mean, the Belmonts were pretty rich. Presumably at one point they were. Presumably someone was paying them. Did you lose your magic too?
300 years ago was a great sorceress.
Cypher, yes.
Yay!
I know everything about the history of
Do you?
my mother.
You got like 10 years of history. I feel like there's maybe some things she didn't mention. Like your grandfather.
You sound so much like her.
Presumably if you abandoned her for a few years too, then
Line ever produced.
abandonment usually sounds the same.
So when did you turn into this creepy old man?
I mean, I guess we never really could think about the lifespan of magic because we only knew Sypha as young and extremely powerful. But is it just like something you lose with age, something you lose with lack of practice, something you lose with lack of optimism, with lack of spirit? Because these are some real depressed dudes.
Powerful magician. Emphasis on the word.
Y'all think Lexapro would give them their magic back?
Your grandmother, Liddy,
Ooh, a dead woman.
too, if you can believe that.
Who's the
His
friend?
name was Maxim.
Dang it.
A vampire killed them both.
Do we have another vengeance quest to go on?
The magic left me. I had nothing.
You lost your daughter too. Or have you forgotten that part? Your daughter who went to America to fight evil alone.
With her, like... Well, I don't know. Did she go with her son or did she have the kid in America? Who's his dad? That's never been addressed.
Evil will always win, Richter. It will always be stronger than us. But there will always be more. More and worse. And they'll murder the people you love.
Yeah, this is probably not the pep talk you want from your long-lost grandfather.
Why are you here then? If you didn't come looking for me?
I live here! What do you mean? He's over here talking about, oh, I've been in France this whole time watching you, and then saying, what are you doing here? At the bar? Being sad, drinking, just like you, old man.
There.
Oh. The chain and the one red eye visible underneath the cloak means he's up to shenanigans. Are you trying to tell him? Oh! That's where the budget went. We're in the spirit world, baby.
You killed Vauban.
Vauban!
We all rejoiced. But I lost Edouard.
You did.
You're not his soul.
Very poorly, might I add. Just truly from stupidity. I can't explain why you lost Edward. You couldn't.
And this vampire messiah, she's older still.
Your power is old too, Annette.
If these are my ancestors, Cecile, they're just a babble. Noise. They're no match for some ancient Egyptian devil god.
Hey.
You babble because you're not listening.
It's not very cash money of you.
Being born a slave, it's the source of your fury, but it's not the source of your power.
Do you think this episode is just going to be the low points of all of our heroes and then they get pep talks from the people they care about? Or the newly met people who care about them in their own weird way?
The ship sailed, weeping and pulling her hair.
Oh.
But they go back, beyond them and beyond them, back to the source, to the Iwa of Ogun. Learn to hear your ancestors. There is light in this darkness.
Edward and that singing. Okay, he's kind of a failure of a night creature, but I mean, this is before Spotify, so might as well keep someone for the tunes. The other night creatures don't seem like they like tunes. Or maybe they do, and growling is just the only way they can communicate appreciation.
I've lived a long time as human and vampire, but I've only really loved once. I was proud to be Mohican.
Okay.
Rude. He burned with such passion. Then Julia Belmont killed him
Wait, what?
Because he was a vampire. And you did that to him. Is that what you have planned for me?
It's not Mizrak. I'm not in love with you.
Character design on a million, bro.
Do you remember who you were?
I make jokes at Edward's expense, but I like that he's just a little bean, and he still is a little bean, no matter what shape he's in. Oh,
I remember that.
it's Liberty Kids! He kept his ponytail.
What she said. My name was Joke.
That really doesn't narrow it down, but I know who you are. Also, I really feel like they've completely either A, rewritten the entire thing of how night creatures are made, or this dude just sucks at it, and he's just basically reshaping their bodies while doing nothing about their souls. Because clearly their souls are still kicking around their former corpses.
All of them. Do they know?
Of course not.
That I make demons or that I have a kid? Which is worse?
Supposed to keep it in your pants.
The real sin here.
Everyone knows most priests don't. Most popes don't, even.
They are dishonorable priests.
Not me though. I'm different.
We do whatever we have to do in the name of God.
That was for God, was it? That you ignored me my whole life.
That's what you're mad about?
Join me. I implore you.
That's what all narcissists say.
Stand in God's way.
I know that you're a witch, my dude. You are a necromancer. Oh no, she's alive. I was really hoping she'd kill her. For her own good. What a look! Again, I know they were just cosplayers feverishly watching the show like, just gonna order like hundreds of pounds of Warbler, man. Getting their wigs all together. And I really wish I hadn't missed all the Comic-Con tickets to be able to see it.
Slaughter my people. They said they were doing it for their god. Sometimes their king too, but always their god.
Weirdly, God likes land and natural resources. The real way to honor God is to find all of your gold and or oil deposits. This town seems to suck. I'm just gonna say, if there's any like peasants remaining, I feel like they should maybe leave. It's just really angry rich people and vampires. There's nothing good here. But my family farm, leave it. Let it go. Oop, Drilta's like, haha, I see leverage. Because she did not mess with this whole priest thing in the first place. What a look! Oh my god.
There's light in this darkness.
Do you accept it now as your fate?
I'd like to think that Abby's just really bad at forge making, and that's why this is happening.
No.
Edward's starting a little revolution, no matter what form he's in. Oh, I love that for him.
She was looking right at me when she died. And then old rocks let me go.
I was a terrible father.
Getting that vibe, yeah.
But well, most important thing is to face the truth about yourself. I need a piss.
Still thinking about Mizrak. Is that what you're gonna do to me? No, I'm not in love with you. Do you want him to be in love with you? Is that what you're saying? Oh! Jesus. Oh! I'm sorry. Is he shooting from his axe? Now what kind of is he walking on water? Oh! Oh, it's just very shallow. Grandpa! Oh! Okay. I mean, they sent out the whole squad for him. The whip doesn't burn a little to hold it?
Soon to be extinct.
Do you think you knocked anyone up?
Their family, ugly. The little girl isn't your sister, but is almost your sister. The speaker, who isn't your mother, but has been like a mother to you.
We get it. You've been watching him.
Black girl, wherever the fuck she's from. It won't be me that kills them.
Oh, okay. No. It is a gun with an axe on it. I'm glad I cleared that up.
She hangs you by your arms with hooks through the bones, making sure you don't bleed out too fast. You can be conscious for days.
Love that. Just, where is the Morning Star? Irresponsible Melbons. Are you gonna do magic? Are you gonna do magic? Are you gonna do magic? Is he? I mean, granted, you just met. Oh, there it is. I was gonna be like, okay, flashbacks of Tara, flashbacks of Maria. I was like, oh, maybe he's not gonna have one of Annette. She's relatively new, but he did. Also, that's a lot of magic, my dude. You're letting out all kinds of power right now. Shit looks like Dragon Ball Z. Wasn't really well directed. It was kind of just energy, but let's go. Feels like a bit of a cheat code. It's like, oh, my man's about to get his Todoroki on. Or his Gojo. This is so incredibly anime coded. An ice elbow knife is crazy and I love it. Okay, magic does not make you bulletproof, but sure.
Thing you forgot about Belmont. Stupid of me. I'd forgotten it too.
What?
I was going to say something witty and cutting and brutal before I finished you off.
It's kind of hard when you look like the dude from the Karate Kid, but oh my god. Throwback to a Young Justice with Brion melting that old dude's face.
I can do magic again.
I noticed.
He's like, I needed to cry like 3 good times and then have a panic attack. We're back in business.
I have to live. There are people I love. Pity it didn't work like that for you.
He's like, I've been passively suicidal my entire life, so it never really occurred to me to like, try.
That's probably all it is.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So, first of all, nailed it with Bathory. And she apparently thinks she is Sekhmet now, and she wants to kill her daddy, the sun god. And oh, all those years of watching fantasy shows, eventually the same plot lines circle back around. Yeah, so nailed it on that front. RIP to the girl they fed to her, because I really thought they were gonna kill her, but they didn't. So she's up for some really unfortunate situations. She looks amazing, Erzsebet, by the way. Like, obviously I've been talking about how good Jolta looks for like 5 episodes now, and Erzsebet looks just as good, like in a very different way, obviously. But if you want like a scene stealer, you want someone who's gonna come in and be like, I'm your new messiah, I'm the Christ, I am the goddess, the lioness, like that is character design. She looks great. What else? We kind of got the backstory with Juiced, which, I mean, fairly standard. I feel like as far as our main characters go, they either become deeply nihilistic, deeply apathetic, or just like wildly optimistic, right? And so we kind of had this apathetic Richter. We had his mom, who was like a fighter to the end. So yeah, of course we're gonna end up with Grandpa, who's just like, yeah, I gave up magic, I still kind of hunt vampires to put food on the table, but my wife died and I let my daughter leave me, and everything was terrible after that, and evil always wins. So here we are. Like, that I think makes sense for how his character is shaped. It makes sense for why he wouldn't interact with his grandson, and also just makes sense for being a Belmont. So his character wasn't really a surprise. There was nothing really like, wow, this is some depth I didn't expect, some storytelling I didn't expect. He's pretty much exactly what I expected. But I'm still happy that he's here, because again, I'm hoping he's going to give us some greater Belmont knowledge, because Richter seems to think he's an expert in the 10 years his mother was alive, and I think we can all agree that that is not true. It's so funny. I thought that, I guess you could say I was wrong about one thing. I thought that Juiced was going to be introduced to kind of train Richter back into business, and it was the exact opposite. It was kind of like, wow, this dude is kind of my future. He's sad and lonely and just has absolutely zero will to live, and I don't want to be that for the rest of my life, for however long that may be. I have a reason to live, and I have people that I still love and care for, unlike Juiced. So I guess in a way I was exactly wrong. He's the exact opposite. But he did in the end kind of help motivate Richter to find his magic back, in the sense that I don't want to watch another relative die. I don't want to look them in the eyes. The light leaves their eyes, and I like that. So that's good. I do think it was a little easy. Like, once he said, you know, I used to be able to do magic as a kid and now I can't, it was like, okay, there's gonna be a whole thing where he gets his magic back. I think that's, you know, that was set up, that was obvious. It just being like, hey, do you want your family to die? No. Then he gets his magic back. It's like, okay. Yeah. Yeah. But, so I will say that it wasn't super exciting as far as like how it came back, but the execution of it, chef's kiss. Like, it looks so good. I really was getting just incredible MHA flashbacks right now. Specifically, it's like that blue-red lighting that you get. I made the Todoroki comparison, but with Deku. Like when he goes all for one, 100%, and he just starts like glowing. Like that, it was very much that same effect. And then when Richter turns around, his eyes like light blue, and then it was like, okay, now it's Gojo. It just felt very anime in this instance, and the way they were fighting and the way they were coloring it, and I enjoyed that aspect of it. It looked really cool. I said early on that I was interested how this season was going to end, because you have to have some kind of victory, right? Like, obviously they're not going to beat the bad guys, so they need to beat like a more minor bad guy, just to show that our characters have accomplished something, that they're on their way down this journey. And so we did defeat a minor bad guy with Nikolai, and we have seen him through a few episodes, but he's not like a personal villain to any of our heroes, and he also isn't like the main, like, he hasn't done anything interesting enough on his own where you're like, oh, I really want that guy to go down, right? Like, and again, I'm sorry, I keep saying I'm not going to make comparisons to the first series, but how could you not? When I eventually watch Legend of Korra, you're going to have to stab me to get me to not be like, well, an Avatar, like, it's hard. But in the first season of Castlevania, like, you hated that priest in Gresham. Like, you're like, I hate this dude, like I know him personally, like he did me dirty. Like, this is all your fault. And without him having to necessarily be like, oh, he hurt our main characters, although he did lead to Alucard's mom being killed, without any of that, right? He didn't know Trevor or Scythe on a personal level, but you as an audience had witnessed his evildoery and were like, he gotta go. In this case, it's like, if Nikolai's our grand victory, that doesn't work because I don't know this guy. Faublanc, got it. He kind of was a victory moment. He was a moment of vengeance. But that was halfway through the season. We still got a couple episodes left. So are there going to be no more victories? Am I just completely wrong and we're not going to end with a victory? We're getting all these little ones because it's actually going to end with a really horrible tragedy when Maria's mom dies? Because I feel like there's way too many alive moms in this series. And we know moms don't make it. They could kill Just, but we just met him. What's the impact? If they kill Tara, tragic backstory for Maria, because she's had it too good for too long with a mother figure in her life. And, you know, we just get to re-traumatize Richter, which is really what being a Belmont is all about. And no moms make it out to the end of the season. So I think maybe that's it. Maybe I've been gassing up a big victory, but we're getting a bunch of mini victories to lead to their big failure, which is going to be the death of Tara, which could be interesting because clearly the abbot still has some kind of feelings for her, if not only just like what she represents, which was a young person who thought he was an amazing person 17 years ago, and he really likes people thinking he's amazing, so he'll just like hold on to that. But if she dies, which we saw that Drolta was eyeballing Maria, Drolta, who already has beef with Tara, wants to get at the abbot because she doesn't like that she has to make deals with him anyway. She maybe goes after Maria as, you know, a chess piece, and then Tara gets in the middle. Tara gets killed. Again, sad story for all of our heroes. Potentially leverages the abbot to want to act out against Drolta and Urzabet faster and earlier than planned. He tries to maybe whip up his night creatures against them in revenge. That could be the move. I don't know. I feel like that's kind of the only thing I can think of for how this season will end. If we're not going to end with a victory, I feel like Tara dying makes sense. Because I can't see Olrox or Drolta or Urzabet going down in the next 2 episodes. That doesn't track for me. I guess Mizrak could die, but that would make me really sad. And like, the scenes with him and Olrox are so cool and interesting, and I just like their vibe. And I just really feel like Olrox has potential to, again, kind of come around to their side. So I hope they don't kill him. That would be like, it would make sense, because it's like you're always going to be disposable in these kinds of battles. But I don't want him to be, so I hope he's not. I like how I was just listing all the strategic reasons and plot reasons they should kill Maria's mom. And then I'm like, not Mizrak though, he's cute and I like him. He's so fun, don't kill him. Am I a bad feminist? Well, no, it's not my fault. It's just how these shows work, okay? These shows and Disney and all of these things run on dead moms, and that's not my fault. I can acknowledge the trope without me. I'm not the one causing it. I feel like I got all the juicy bits. I mean, it was very much a reflective episode. I didn't really talk about Annette kind of going to the spirit world and talking with her former teacher, whose name I cannot remember. I didn't really get into that, but again, it was kind of in the same vibe as Just and Richter. It's just kind of this moment of like, hey, you're at a real low point, but there is either an upside, there is faith to be had, there's light in this darkness, or you can go the exact opposite direction and be like, there's darkness in this darkness and everything never gets better. And it's like, okay, well, that's not sustainable, so let's go the other way. I feel like this is kind of for all of our characters to have that moment of regaining faith, and because, you know, they're very young and they're very traumatized and they needed an extra push, right? If they're gonna go into this fight that truly they are outclassed in pretty much every single way, they at least, like I said, they need spunk, they need spirit, they need vim. So I think that's what this episode kind of came in to do, was just to circle our characters back to a place of light, to a place of optimism, before potentially crushing that again. Maybe. Which, at that point would make this episode feel a little unnecessary, a little redundant. If we do all of this to get our characters to be like, find your inner magic, connect to your ancestors, like you're scared of this Egyptian sun god, like you're connected to Ogun and all those other, I don't want to say, it's not really Nigerian, I don't think that is the correct like culture country to connect to Ogun, so don't quote me on that. But it's kind of saying like, if you're comparing your own power to like the level of this deity, like you have that same thing in your blood, in your ancestor, in your history, and literally you also have magic in your blood, Richter. This whole episode was about finding the magic within, okay? That's what this was all about. It was about finding the magic and the optimism and the spirit, and you too are a fighter. And I think, you know, we needed that at this point in the story. And so now we're gonna choo-choo our way to the end, and then hopefully we'll have a better direction of where this entire series is going. Because at this point, I'm still very much, I don't know. I mean, that's a lie. I guess we do know that it's going to an eventual battle with the sun god, which could be fun. Alright, well, I am basically just starting to repeat myself and make terrible jokes, so I'm going to end this one here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, comment, etc. All of those good things that make me very, very happy. If you don't want to do any of that, but you've watched all the way to the end of this video, thank you. I still really, really appreciate you, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace!